And then I'll do the cup game at now.
The cup game.
Go
The
in
cup
D&D
game.
cup game before I grab water.
Ah, this makes sense. You got to be ready for those hydrates.
Exactly. Especially when you're about to like say a very like in the middle of a intense situation where you redeem it. For the dramatic pause. I gotta be ready, you
I
know?
I would never awkwardly redeem my hydrate in the middle of a monologue for a dramatic pause.
No, you would never! What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
It's,
Of course
it's
not.
an impossibility.
So impossible. Alrighty, I'm gonna be your bee.
Enjoy. Have fun. That's why I'm going to rely on someone else to do it. That's just how you do it. You pawn your problems off on the nearest unfortunate victim. Or something. Definitely the or something moment. Hello and welcome everybody. Slowly piling into this morning's episode. Just grabbing some water, getting ourselves sat up, all nice
Alrighty,
and
I've
happy
returned.
and enjoyable. Fast, so fast.
It's only a kitchen away. Alrighty, huh.
Seems a far way away.
So far away, so far away. So far, 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 far away.
And I ran a really long ways away.
I gotta make sure I like remember how to speak. Hi Ambra. Ah
Greetings. Welcome to the grand tournament.
I'm just this. I just got hit by a wave of exhaustion. Let's go. Oh my goodness, yes.
This is good Civ.
What? This is good soup?
This is good Civ.
Oh yes, this is good civilization, you're right. Are you a good civilization?
Semi-half sentient creatures, probably. At least
I don't know if
constitute
you're
a
supposed to be a good
civilization.
civilization actually at this point with how you described it.
At least a halfway decent civilization.
Okay, so you're halfway there with probably not the people, multiple people, or do you have the multiple people part but not the other thing?
No, I don't have any people.
Okay, so how do you have any people? Who are you then? What are you? Are you a robot? Are you actually a robot this entire time?
Yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
That would be a plot twist. The reason why no one else can read the server is because like you just plug yourself directly into it and you just read it like that.
I do not type anything. I just simply plug my brain in.
No, you'd still type things. Don't you? You'd still somehow type things even though you don't need to.
Uh,
You just
I'm
read it in a weird way.
surprised. I'm honestly surprised the fact that you guys like my mic doesn't pick up keyboard. That is shocking to me because every single time I'm like, oh, I'm making too much noise. Everyone's going to be so annoyed. It's like, oh,
Clickety clickety clackety clickety.
to me it sounds like clickety clickety clackety clickety like. You say that, but like my keyboard sounds loud to me.
I mean, anyone's keyboard is gonna sound loud to themselves, I think. Also, I need to make sure I get their volumes right because I think you're slightly more louder than me. I think that's better. Say something. Say something. Say something. Maybe I'm just quiet today. Because, like, I'm trying to project, but, like, I don't want to project. And I'm not going to be projecting, so I'll just move my microphone closer.
Yell Trace on. Yell Trace on.
Trace on! How's that? Did I win?
Works. You're now an anime protagonist.
How could you have done this to me? I don't want to be Shiro Emiya. I don't want to be Shiro.
The White Castle.
White Castle? Why?
The White Castle. Because doesn't Shiro mean white and castle? Or white
Oh,
or castle?
yeah. Oh, no.
So Shiro is just White Castle.
Oh, no. White Castle's gonna give, like, Shiro and White Castle. Oh, no.
The White Castle special.
That's Kiku's waifu. Kiku picked up Shiro White Castle.
White Court.
Okay, right, White Court. Yeah, that's totally different. A court of kings, which live in a castle.
It could be a quart of bakers or a quart of milk. Except for that's spelled with a Q. It could be a Supreme Court.
I think I need to adjust my eyes. Because when I have them open still, but like mostly closed, they don't believe me. Unless my head's tilted up. But if my head's tilted up, I can't see the screen as well. And I look intimidating. Maybe I just keep my eyes open. Maybe I just pretend that I can, like... But I'm keeping my... Goddamn... Supermod... I actually rewatched the one episode, so now I'm noticing it, because I noticed it, like... Whenever I'm doing this, I don't notice it, but, like, whenever I'm, like, rewatching it, I notice it, so,
I don't know what you're talking about.
My model, my 2D model.
I thought you were saying your normal eyes. I was like, I don't know how you're. I don't know.
Nah. My normal eyes are probably just sleepy looking.
Yeah, don't worry. My model's
open input.
My model's a skeleton, so.
Yeah, the skeleton you said that I'll never find again.
I'm shocked you still have it. I gotta break into your house and delete it from your computer.
Please don't.
But then you'll just go back to one of these episodes and screenshot it. So.
Yeah, it's there forever, Izzy's now.
The internet. Okay.
Okay, I've almost got it.
You're almost good. You good?
That's right. Hi, Massive Labs, how's it going?
Good.
We're about to start. I'm just trying to fix my face.
For the time being, everyone, let's do some stretches. Why don't we? So let's raise your right arm up to the air. Pat yourself on the back.
I'm doing it. I've just broken something.
Try and place it lightly on the back of your head.
I gotta hear you. There were dishes crashing in the background.
Blade.
What?
Hold that there for about 10 seconds.
I'm doing it. Is it working?
Now, gently put your right arm back to the sky and bring it to a resting position. Now let's do your left arm up to the sky and pat yourself on the back. If you want to, what you can do is you can lightly push on your elbow to bring it down a little bit.
I'm not doing it lightly. I made a mistake.
Your arm is not supposed to gyro.
Oh, it hurts. I hurt myself.
We don't condone hurting. Right.
I'm
Reach up for
trying
the
not
shoulder
to.
and
I'm
return.
trying to stop the pain, I swear.
We'll also do is we'll lightly try and rest our left ear on our left shoulder. Don't bring your shoulder up. Just lightly rest it. Don't go too far.
Okay, I'm doing it. Am I supposed to move my hand back down by now or no?
I did mention that, yeah.
Oh,
But
sorry.
keep doing whatever you want. Move over to the right side. Just move your right ear. Just kind of rest it on your right shoulder if you can. Don't force it. Don't bring your shoulder up. Just give you a little bit of a stretch just in the front of your neck. A little bit.
Alrighty, I'm doing it.
Right. Now let's slowly rotate down. Put your chin into your chest. Then bring it up. And rotate around the back.
Oh,
Make a
oh, I got
full
that backwards. Okay, I'll do it
waist.
again.
Whatever. We'll do whatever. Just get a
What?
good, nice neck rotation.
Yeah, nice neck rotations if my face
Slow.
gets...
Don't break your neck. Don't snap it. That's bad. We'll do a couple, just a few rotations. Just loosen up that neck.
I'm doing it. I'm doing neck rotations. You know, I've cracked
And
my neck in the past. Like, I used to just, like, turn to the side and crack it. I don't think I can do that nowadays.
it's a bad thing. Maybe the joints are gathering like air bubbles or something.
I
Alright,
heard that's
that's
a
pretty
myth,
good.
though. Like, everything I hear is always, like, so off and on about many things. It's like, ah, this is bad for you. And then it's like, nah, it's great for you.
Okay, let's go to the right. Should be told, I don't know. I haven't even bothered to research it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it, but you know.
Alright, I'll do the TJ thing. Alright, everybody breathe in for 3 seconds. Hold. Release. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Alright, let's go. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. We have a little bit of an opening scene.
Is that me or you? Are you was that a prompt for me or was that like you said that and you're gonna do an opening scene?
We actually have an opening scene from server, and then we'll have the quick recap.
I mean, if the opening scene doesn't bleed into the recap, I'm 100% fine. I don't think it's that great, anyways. I don't even remember what I wrote. It was a fever dream. We're fine. There's a lot of pictures that we don't have.
The setting is a small house on the cusp of a cliff face overlooking the water. For 3 nights, 3 days, the murder, the brutal killing of Jared Hoffnine.
Who?
Jared Hoffnine.
I know that was a rhetorical question. The
It had
point
been
is we
back
don't
and
know.
forth of who had done it.
Yes, did you murder some random dude out in...
There was no pointing clues or real evidence, say the wiser. Not to the common man, at least. But this was not a common Yardland detective. No, not at all. This was the world's greatest detective. It is simple, I say. You could not have possibly known any better. The watch, it was set back. And that is when Madame Gold made her way up to the mountain ridge. And she waved down at you. You had figured that it was simply 1:30. After you had gone for your swim in the treacherous yet cold waters. Madame had enough time to kill and then return, setting your watch back to make it seem like you had only swam for but about 30 minutes or so. This is the conclusive evidence that you had enough time to be as a murder, commit it, then drag the body just far enough to set up your alibi. Preposterous. That's utterly ludicrous. My wife would never. No? And how could you be so sure when the woman before you is not even your real wife? Darling, tell this man he's completely insane. I say so. That ain't the missus that came by the house the other day. She's all different. Her eyebrows and whatnot, they're a different color, aren't they? What? But of course, this is the notorious cat burglar, Nina Alphonse. The same one who had stolen the ruby jewel. The same one who has been on the run for 14 years after killing her cohort. Is that not right, Nina? Damn it all. But do you have any real conclusive evidence to even say what you're saying is true? I mean, really. I think that a little man like you would come in and question me. I'm not even the person I'm saying I am. My own husband is here to vouch for me. Yes, well, then simply you would not mind showing us your hands, madame. My hand. Why ever would you want to see my hands? There is no reason. I take it, of course, that everyone has washed their hands with the hand sanitizer provided by our lovely host. The same hand sanitizer that has been laced with a certain chemical, I am told, in which reacts to golden hair dye.
How do you have that? Sorry.
I believe would turn blue. Please remove your gloves, madame. There's a pause in tension. For the gloves are quickly taken off by the worried husband. My gods. You're an imposter! Maybe an imposter, but I'm an imposter who hasn't come completely unprepared. By her side, a small revolver pointed at the small detective. A gasp from the watching crowd. Even a scent of worry from the little detective. If I'm going to take as many as you down with me. A quick fight ensues, but it doesn't last very long as the gun is disarmed by the gardener. And the fake Miss Gold, the notorious thief, caught and brought to justice. My word, old boy, that was a right show you did there. Managed to find her out and I didn't even see a thing coming. But where did you get that strange concoction from? Well, you see, the concoction was nothing more than blue paint. Water activated. I simply put it on her gloves, and she activated it herself. It was her who showed us her card by drawing the gun. It was her who had admitted the fault. I had known she was the victim, but also the killer from the very beginning. She was here to steal yet another family jewel. The one she could not in her last escapade. I just had to find a way to prove it. My word, you're so clever, don't you think? But we're far off course, don't you feel? Aren't we supposed to be investigating something completely different? Ah, but of course. It seems like these matters, they are unrelated, but I'm sure you just have to make your brain work a little faster and you may see how these will all come into the grand picture, as you put it. Now, if I know correctly, we have been offered a gracious dinner by the host. Why not us sit down and do the enjoyment of it? I could go for a real drink about now. Say, you want a scotch and soda? No, no. Your choice in drink is far too brutish for my delicate taste. Well, suit yourself. I think I'm going to have a nice warm cup of honey mint tea. I think that sounds wonderful. So why don't you give us a recap of what happened last time?
You want me to follow up that amazing performance? With my crummy recap? Oh my guns. Oh my guns. Alrighty, okay. Hello everybody, welcome on in. I hope you all enjoyed the return of Langqua, the world's greatest detective. He is truly the hero of the ages. For those who are, I love him as well, Fred. For those who are unaware of what is happening, let me tell you a tale. A tale about what happens when the world is supposed to die, but it doesn't. Zooming into a planet crackling in radiant fire. Wow. Ooh, the planet is clearly dying in space. Wow, that's a picture. It continues on after a piece of itself. Like a home who's missing a parent or child, the dynamic shifts are slightly changed. Slowly the limbs are scattered and a new body parts are added until there's nothing left but an idea. Some would feel dread. Some would simply say, I am still me, without truly grasping the situation. But I personally find it beautiful. Shows a different form of different places. First is a desert backdrop. In the foreground is like, the Zori chick that died recently. Some dude named Alexander Khaldun in a lavish cart with undead trailing behind them. Maybe a retainer or two. My home has taken on many different forms over an untold amount of time. First King of Wayne pledging himself to a wicked form of the god of eternal service. Even to someone like I, who could gaze into its past and see the stories that connected us. The Council of Heroes Wayne, where the lion discusses the transfer to the next world. I couldn't see anything. Adrian and her waifu walking into the spirit world. Yet I fell in love with our history and my gods, who were always by my side. The alleyway where someone was performing a murder that she was able to catch the criminal. Whew. Black screen. 5 major fragments remained. 5 crystals floating, 1 filled in with black, 2, the apocalypse dragon from Venus, 3, the Holy Grail, 4, the Solitude Soldier standing in the Noke wasteland, 5, a starry sky, zooms into the middle one of the Holy Grail. I wasn't born in any of them, yet my brother and I landed upon a world of peace. I no longer shared with demons and apocalyptic forces. A promise that our people would be carried to another world, now unwillingly broken. Split screens of Tenka performing alchemy as an adult, Tenka's a retainer, holding a green vial resembling acid, Avier in a hospital performing a checkup with flowers in the background. Ormo sitting with his wife around a dinner table, but only he lit up 2 of them with a background being dark. Wow, that's foreshadowing. But it'd be way better in picture form, but Justin struggling to keep up. Kid, and then finally, the final split screen is Kamakune standing at a pedestal with stained glass window behind him, with the entire picture being tilted to the side. We had to learn how to survive once more with a few of our retainers. They thrived, or so I thought. Back then, I wasn't the most responsible High Priestess. Honya up late writing a book with her auto-writing book writing as well, because she has 2 books and one is an auto-writing book, so magic. I was busy transcribing my books in order to sell them and making a fortune. I truly had full faith within my retainers. But I was blind. Picture of Kiku giving his daughter a magic crest. My brother was more focused in getting us set up in the world. He had also his daughter too, who needed to. My brother was focused on getting us set up in the world. He also had his daughter he needed to ensure didn't get indoctrinated into mage society. At the time, it didn't matter to me if Alicia would be the next king of Wayne or if Kiku still held the reins. After all, I saw the fall of Wayne before. Picture 1 flashes on screen of the world burning, but the pasties turned hella up. I wrote hella up. Yes, I did. And this wasn't much different. Fades to black. 2 years passed before we got an invitation to a mage's game. The Holy Grail War. Honya summoning Yazu, her clothes and hair blowing backwards as her command spells are forming on her outstretched hand. Kiku and Kamakune are closer to the tree line behind her. Wow, phew, energy. Flashes of light and arcane prowess. The blinding light unseen from afar, I would summon my servant. And he was to be the first king of Wayne. Yet, that wasn't my destiny. Same scene, but Yazu standing in the place of the invisible wind settled. He was my general. Oh, wait. He was my closest friend. When my emotions were unstable from... No, okay, I fucked up. I started reading and I started reading. He was my general. A hero from the past I met once before a dream. Yet he wasn't even from Wayne. Yazoo and Hone were cooking over a large piece of cheese, a happy scene with the frying pan being on fire while they distracted one another. He became my closest friend. With my emotions, they were unstable from losing my visions. He grounded me, even in the middle of a mage war. There were tough times, yet I have never been so happy. So when the time came, we won the war. I used my wish to bring him back, to win the second war. The room with the papers of Grail, blowing papers, myself, Tenka, and others facing against a shadow being beaming from the light outside produced from the broken wall. So, shadow looming over, the group of, people around the Grail. We were lit up against literal monsters in this one. People who sacrificed their humanity for more power. Yet, we were not going to surrender. The god of eternal service, Loa of living, granted me direction. My first and only friend gave me a request. I planned to fulfill it. I had already lost my arms at this point. There truly is something broken about how my brother and I were raised. But of course, things weren't that simple. Slowly fades to a gory sight of a classroom filled with dead bodies. Kiku impaled by his daughter. I missed it. Where did it go? Where's the words? Okay, I'm gonna be. Roll20 is like a attention hog, where whenever I don't have a page open with Roll20, it slows everything else down. Dead daughter being impaled. A cruel and ruthless strategy. What would you do to save the world? Yazoo was willing to let school children be slaughtered to draw attention to the war. The true perpetrator was my retainer Ormos, who had disappeared during the First War. Not only did he turn against us, but so did Avier and Dyer in different ways. I truly lost those who served under me. In the past... Wait. Oh, I just spaced out weird. I truly lost those who served me under the past, yet it was Yazoo who capitalized on making sure it was to our benefit. Flashes of the Grail. Despair and destruction was all that awaited us, as the command spells were already set on me. Hand with the command spells. Anyone with the Greater Grail was bound to suffer. There was no winning, only death fades to black. Yet after that moment, Kiku's daughter was resurrected. Izori, the high priestess of the past we allied with, brought her back, to keep the promise made to me. Meanwhile, I was sent on a wild goose chase, experiencing much despair and agony, and inconveniences as possible. Fades into Yazoo shooting the Chosen of the Air Fallen with the slow zooming out of showing the full scene of him shooting the High Priestess and stuff, and owning her on the ground. Yazoo. We were truly in an impossible situation if a murder-suicide was the only way to win. With the corrupting effects of the Grail, you were able to take down you who were cursed, and our allies corrupted into a foe. Madman's gambit indeed. But I suppose you are the only one who could stop your own plan. Cheese photo! I am truly fortunate to have summoned you. I hope we meet again, when I ascend into Protector of the World and our history. Now we will continue this journey. My new servant assembled an army to stop herself when she's inevitably corrupted, and there's one ally we have yet to win over. Death foretold me that I would die before the end, so I must entrust my will to the only human in the war. 8 out of 9 servants remain, But soon, there'll only be one. Insert music, probably view music, yeah. Oh, that was way longer than I expected.
Now we just need to get it animated.
I even have like the rough layout of the pictures. I just need to like get somebody to draw. Thank you for doing your best to keep up.
It was very quick, so I mean, I was trying to figure it out, but we got something.
Yeah. Poor Yazoo. Yazoo's dead. Get Yazoo out of here. That boy's dead.
Don't you want to linger on his cheese?
Listen, I already had a cheese bagel. I'm done mourning. I ate the cheese bagel. It was a fucking good bagel. And it was good. Listen. It was the best recap of my life, except for the ending. I feel like it got very choppy at the end and like very inconsistent. But like the beginning started off great. The beginning was a great recap. World's dying. Promise to the new world being unkept and all that stuff.
The cogs of the Grail started to move. They were now ticking in place. Like a wrought clock that had been erected in the center square, ready to chime. But instead of chiming at the token of 12, it clicked for every servant to falter. This was the clock of the Grail. And it had finally started. It would be needed to follow a very concise idea of what was happening. A plan. And as of current, the plan still remained for Honra. And Kiku, specifically. No longer Keita Makune. To disembark from the main group. Whether they could say it or not, the Grail itself wanted to spur them into action. And it would spur them into action by taking a grasp at anyone else who was in the area. They were not safe. The world was. This war faltered. One person who made it the most ideal brought it to the fold. Was Lady Hanku. She would be joining us on our expedition outwards. Lord Tenka would be in charge of keeping everyone else safe. Along with the others. They would need to have trust in their allies if they were going to make it through. Honra could feel certain sadness to leaving this place. In many ways, Honora never truly had a home, and it felt like she was walking away for a time being with two. But it was a need to be done. It wasn't something grabbing her by the neck. No. This, of course, was something much more clean. This was the dawn of her adventure. Although it had started long ago, this is when it became official. This is the real call to action. It wasn't like they were going out just on one little pitter-patter, teeter journey to subjugate something or learn something. This was being thrown out into the world again. But this time, they had something to go back to. The only other time was when they showed up on this world long ago. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Before, it was a dream of a Wayne to return to. For some. Before, it was an ideal that there might be something left. But now, there is something left. The Wayne Institute. It may be Wayne to some, it may be not Wayne to others, but one thing it is home. Home and family. It's not complete. It's very scattered and disjointed. And desperately, Honora wants to grab onto it and never let go. Well, maybe in the instance of death. But the yearning feeling of leaving a safety net. She wants to be able to speak more with Avier and Ormos and Dyer. She wants to learn more about why Rescard is so suspiciously good at avoiding questions. She wanted to speak and learn more and let Tenka grow. She wanted to maybe one day show Bernald how to properly swing a sword. She wanted to write the tale of a blossoming romance, No. She wanted to do a couple things, but above all else, she wanted to make sure that the world, their history, their existence, everything they were was safe. Not even safe, maybe just protected in some way. She had a role to play. She had an importance to achieve. Everything else was still important. But this, a deep breath. This superseded that. It was Honor's belief that if she stayed here trying to constantly put puzzles back together and fix the relationships present, as a high priestess, she'd be able to do so, but it would be torn apart every time by the Grail or some other force. As long as she remained here, she would be taken piece by piece until not even her head was her own. Slowly replaced into nothing more than magical prosthetics. There's a time and a place for everything. The time for help has already been done. The time for action is now. Then it would be ideal if she could make it to a time of peace, of healing. Ormos was with friends. Avier was with friends. Dayar was with friends. Everyone here was with friends now. One of the most important things that she could bestow onto them, or hope for them, is that they can talk to each other. And if the Grail wants a war, then it is our job to provide it, at least within the bounds of our own obligation. Kiku, with a new prosthetic hand, would carry a small briefcase, Hanku flaked behind him, to the front door, where Honra, standing not too far away, within a sight distance, careful sight distance, a stubby looking, slightly greasy, maybe not like the most royal, Henry Geralt beside his new fashioned together vehicle. Your driver. I have the essential supplies we need. We're just missing things like food and water. Anything we can purchase easily with currency. We're going to want to stock up before we find our new base of operations.
Sorry, wait, what was the first part? What we're missing?
Food and water. Anything that can be bought with money easily. We have the essentials, except for food and water.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah, food and water is always the last concern.
Owner's loaded, so I mean, we just need to stock up on food and water. We're not going to take that, like, in a cab.
How's my ribs, by the way? Are they healed?
Owner has been put on a don't move a terrible lot. Stay very low key. They're
It's a
not just
good thing I have a new
magically put
cane.
together. They're not just magically put back together, but it's a good thing you have a new cane. You were given some painkillers, but Honra doesn't like painkillers. Just probably not actually going to take them.
Yeah, I don't need them. I don't need painkillers.
I've managed to set up a series of fail-safes if anything happens here.
I do hope that they will never come into use.
I agree. Kiku looks back towards the Wayne Institute. Let's get moving. Too many lingering goodbyes. He doesn't finish and simply moves over. Mr. Garrel getting out of the car and opening the door for her. The very well mid-dressed gentleman. Hanku, carrying, of course, more things, starts to put them into the back, the trunk. She always looks so serious. This was a serious mission, and weirdly enough, Hanku was someone that Honra actually felt extremely safe around. It was like they completed their conflict, and they probably would not get along with each other very well. But it was like she saw the extent of their conflict. And that was almost an ensuring piece of information. She knew it wasn't probably going to devolve further than that. The point she could put on a map. Hanku was never going to slit her throat in the sleep of night. Unfortunately, as much as she wanted to trust her retainers, she's glad at least one of them would stop before the event happened.
Honestly, overall, everything that's happened, yes, Yasu's a better friend than Aviaire.
Was a better friend.
What?
Was a better friend.
Well, he's dead now. He still is, but you know.
My lady. Hanku is gestured into the seat.
Why, thank you.
Honra follows. We want to go to 4th Street and 2nd. Bring us to the end there. That'll be fine. Right away. You know, this may sound a little bit. Forgot the act. He hasn't been around for so long. I forgot the accent I gave him.
I don't know either, honestly, but now he's way less, like, endearing. We should fire him immediately.
He's gonna be Scottish for some reason. Never really looked at it very much, but you know, you two actually look kind of like siblings. Forgive me if I'm out of place there.
Oh no, not at all. Are we supposed to not say that we're siblings?
Probably best to just not answer that question.
Yeah,
But
she'll
he is
say,
the
like, oh
only
yeah,
person
don't
in
worry,
this
not at
group.
all, like, don't worry about, like, the fact of you asking. And then, leave a little bit of a pause before asking. We're mid-drive, or we're starting to drive, right?
Yep.
I must inquire. Has this job been treating you well?
I'll say it's one of the major turning points in my life. For the better, I say.
I'm glad to hear that. Truly wonderful. Was he here for the big scare moment of like in the basement?
Yep.
I'm sorry about what happened.
I figured after the Walking Dead incident, things like that were going to happen.
Well, it should be dying down for you right soon anyways. Right soon anyways. Yep, that's grammar.
That's some server grammar right there.
It's not weird in the computer program. Just weird to my brain.
The danger's one thing. The job's still better than what I had before. You know. I can say that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me in my life. Besides, well, a family matters.
Damn, dude's ready for like the action movie life. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's 38 and getting ready for his midlife crisis. I think he's
Is there
38.
movies in? Yeah, I suppose that he might be considering your action movie life then. Perhaps go on your own adventure of saving the world. Jokingly so, of course.
I didn't realize we were hiring for that.
That was a joke. Don't worry about it. Should I say the hand crew? Because goddamn hand crew, get.
She puts her hand down almost as if she was ready to start swinging. Not sure at what. No.
I'm sure she
he
was
wants,
also making a joke, but you know.
I'm sure he wants a fairly tame life. A little bit of action here and there is fine. I would not want to ask him to be driving into something we knew was explicitly dangerous.
Of course not. Besides, we're just off to have a bit of adventure. It's not like we're going to be fighting to save the world. Deception check. I don't want this dude to worry. I have a +5. But it's important within stories that even if it's not an end of a world situation, it's sometimes fun to pretend it is.
You don't have to hide me. I get it. You're in some weird gang business things. I get that we might be in a shootout or two. He taps the center console. Don't. I don't think that's necessarily the greatest place to be, but I've come prepared regardless. Besides, I would be a driver if I wasn't here to protect you. I like to get all my patrons home in one piece, and since you're my only patron now, can't let a little lady, can't let either of these little ladies here go unscathed. There's a detected hint of he's slightly scared of Kiku for some reason.
Yeah, understandably. How heroic. I mean, actually, like, it's not like, she's actually like 100% like, yeah, no, that's how heroic.
The car picks up speed, moves down the roadway. Seems to be a cloudy day. Starting to spitter, but only a little rain. Gurgling from the clouds. The water begins to pick up as the travel continues. It's thrown on the windshield from above traffic or in front. Vehicles are surely amazing things. By the time they hit downtown, it was a light rain. They pulled
Do
up
we have
into a dark.
umbrellas? Is that a necessity we brought?
Of course.
Perfect. Who needs food and water, though?
We can get food and water later.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
He dropped into a slightly darker alleyway. Kiku, Honra, and Hanku step out, propping up their umbrellas and bidding the small driver a farewell. This, of course, was downtown. A grungy, kind of muggy environment, where the water stuck to everything and it hardly seemed to drain. Kiku had picked out our safe house, or at least our quick safe house. There was multiple. Monroe was left in the dark on some of the other ones, only the emergency one. As she stepped, the water rippled up her now slightly tighter pants.
Wait, what?
Kiku, her now slightly tighter pants.
I'm just keep on putting on weight. I need to do some exercise. I can't do exercise. I'm broken right now.
Kiku dressed in his large, long coat, wearing a suit underneath. Hanku dressed in a full black suit as well. To anyone who would simply look upon us, they could suspect many a thing. They wouldn't suspect much. For the time being, Kiku is going to be rolling our stealth as a group.
Hunter's not in charge
All
of
right.
anything, is she?
Honra can either pick up.
Honor can pick up perception, or Hanku can pick up perception. You're both garbage at perception, I'm pretty sure, though.
We can both perception.
At this point, it's only really going to be benefit if one of you does.
What? I think it's Hanku looking doing perception because like she would have more passes then if it's only one of us. like she is a bodyguard, so she knows what to look for. Meanwhile, I'm an author.
I completely forgot I had to redesign Kiku's kit because,
Did you do that, or do we need to do that now?
no, I did that.
Okay, good, good. Your class was deleted from existence.
The server deleted my class from existence. That was fun.
Poor Kiku.
That makes sense. Hanku is not, in fact, a halfling.
Damn.
Strafing through the streets, we manage upon a small door to which Kiku erects a keychain. Clicking it open, and stepping inside. Some sort of warehouse or storage facility. Upon setting foot, Honor immediately notices the walls almost look like they're laced with two materials, one and then some sort of wallpaper.
Lead. Let's go, lead.
The room itself is small, but it contains a couple sleeping arrangements, a very small stockpile of dried rations, which we're not going to consume, a fridge, a icebox, a large assortment of weapons and equipment, a large assortment of maps, a computer, God forbid a computer. Those aren't real things, by the way.
No, they aren't. They're the Kiku. Kiku makes it so, though.
And what looks like a equipment workbench.
Do all of your safe houses come this stocked up?
No, the others are more. They're for emergencies, however. Back when I was making money, and I was still living with you and Avier, I was putting that money towards creating safe houses like this.
The era of being able to buy property. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Ah.
Now we should talk about what our next immediate goal is. From our last plan, it was to pursue Mixika Hollow.
That's still for the best, I think. But the question is, do we fight against somebody else first? I suppose... no. Having our servants still while we speak to Mitsika will put us on the equal playing ground.
Out of everyone we've seen in the war, the one that poses the biggest danger to us is Assassin. As much as this place is warded in any way I can, Assassin has proven many times to be a powerful infiltrator. We have multiple records of him. We still don't know much about his history, other than trial by midnight. An operation which Yazoo proclaimed that he dragged bodies of criminals to the street and was able to kill en masse. An almost religious story. Once you commit sin against one people, the arbitrary angel of death would come to your door. Zabayashi. Besides that, we don't know much about him.
If we are fortunate, then the master will also be very spiteful with their revenge. Meaning, as long as we do not upset the master, I don't believe it matters too much of, well, seeing him as an enemy.
On multiple instances, he's tried to recruit me. We are in favor. I would say the next biggest threat would be that archer. I did a run on the environment. Her range far exceeds my own, and she engaged at probably the maximum of it. Then, of course, Canis. I would say those are our biggest threats at the moment. As much as Kakrat's servant. The caster. I believe they'll be tricky, but well within our own scope. The real question: what can Hiroko Moto kill?
I think we test it firsthand. It might sound like a poor idea, especially if danger is afoot. However, perhaps to make our allyship, we should set a condition. That we were to have a mock battle, not to the death, to see if our allies are truly capable.
Would we be fighting them with your servant?
That's the only thing we have to fight them with. Unless we were to ask them to fight with us against 2 other masters.
With the output that Didi was showing in our fight against Keita Makune. We don't want to take on 2 other masters, we want to take on 1.
As long as we can secure a safe fighting ground, having them stretch their legs and seeing what they're capable of, and a fight to ensue, I don't see any real negative sides to it.
Our problem is going to be ensuring a safe fighting condition. I don't believe if we ensure a safe fighting condition, it will be safe. I think we need to take on something that has a very real risk of loss. I don't believe that no interference will happen. In that case, you need to convince him. I think the target we hit. Kaijin the Executioner.
I agree.
You work on convincing them. Take Hanku. I'm going to see what I can do to track down Kaijin. Now that I know that they're a servant. There are only so many people in this city who match the description of our executioner. Disguise or not, I'll find them.
Be careful. There's a good chance that they know your face as well.
I'm guaranteed they do. I believe that my first familiar, the one that was shot down, was probably done by them. So I have a quadrant of where they were summoned. Very well. Take what you need. We're working on military time now. Kiku presses a small button on the side of a box hanging on the wall, in which opens up a digital counter, which starts from 0 and goes to 1, 2, 3. Let's take a small intermission. 1 moment.
Okay. Are you just reading up on Kiku to figure out what the fuck's going on? Alright. How's everyone doing today? Intermission time. Oh, golly gee. Oh. My brain is... Okay, you're great? Ah, that's great to hear. I'm happy you're great. I am... I'm not fully sleepy. I can't say I'm sleepy. Ah, that's good. Just relax. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the show. I don't know... This is definitely the transition in between thing. Soon, I think we're going to be talking to the Hirokamoto and the Mitsuka Hollow. I'm impressed I know their names. And we're going to get ourselves some allies. There's a magical wish-granting cup that's making us all suffer for some reason. As it's like an omnipotent wish-granting device that's corrupted and is trying to get people to fight so it can be summoned into the world. If you ever seen the Fate series, it's pretty much the Fate series. And the Fate series is also very confusing. Watch Fate Zero and that's all you need to know. Half the boat dies. Half the boat dies again. Half the boat dies. Those words, without a context, were just like a series of random stuff. But that's alright. Sometimes you just you gotta talk about the astrophysicists. Alright. Apparently I'm good at it. Apparently, like, I always forget that, like, my character's a smart one. They've been working with their charisma staff for so long. Exactly. Unfortunately, yeah, I was unable to make it yesterday for Friday. Lesser staff of Charming. Either way, Lingqua is great. I miss Lingqua. I hope Lingqua shows up today. They were foreshadowed, but like, I don't know if that foreshadowing is gonna work. Hey, I have spells back. I should actually adjust those. Also, a level cap of 5 is just so mean. I know why there's a level cap of 5, but like, I can't get to level 6. If I got to level 6, I could like get more spells. Like, oh my goodness. There's a level cap of 5. Any servant, any person summoned by the Grail is level 10. All of the enemies we're fighting, the inhuman monsters, are also level 10. We are level 5, and we're fighting a bunch of level 10s. And it's the cap of 5. Oh yeah, absolutely. The server is cruel. Although the frickin' everything about this game is so fun because even though the level cap is 5, it's so just it's intense. That's what it is. It's intense. It wasn't usually the level cap is level 10, by the way. In server games, usually the level cap is level 10. Because at level 20, you become like an unkillable god, and if there's a world where there's no level cap, anyone can get to level 20. And if anyone can get to level 20, anyone can cast Wish. And that will lead to the destruction of a world so quickly. I've experienced it before. Well, we've experienced it before. So like level 10 is usually good. Level 10 usually feels great, and like occasionally you can get to like a level 11, level 12, and that's what we usually do. We usually get like past level 10 and then the campaign ends. But like, level 11, level 12, all those things usually require like saving like countries worth of stuff. Because if you save a country, that's enough experience, or if you kill a country, that's enough experience. But that's about it. That's the only way to get past level caps in the server. And it's just unfortunate. Like, no is fine. No case level cap is like level 10 or something. It's just this. I believe that's level... Was Saving the World level 16 or level 20 level cap boundary push?
For Fairbros?
Yeah.
Fairbros, I think we only got to level 14.
Yeah, but like wasn't... Because I know saving a country gets you a level up, right?
Yeah. Defeating one got us a level up. Defeating one got us a level up too.
Okay, God is level up. So what about Saving the World?
I don't think we actually did get any XP for that because, you know, we all died pretty much.
But for the second generation, Heroes?
For Heroes, we got to 20. Some people got to 20, some people got to 16 because of the merged combined Super XP nonsense from Living. Or we combined all versions of ourselves into one or something like that cheesy. We ended up getting somewhere, I think.
Didn't we get to like level 21 because we saved the world though?
Yeah. People got from 20 to 21 because the world save thing.
Okay. So if you save the world and you level 20, you get a level up. If you save the world and you're less than level 20, you get a level up. But yeah.
Yeah, you might get more than that, but we never actually figured out what that was.
Yeah, the campaign after we ended saved the world.
All right. Disappear again. One sec.
Hi, have fun. And that was... Oh, that past. That's a history. That's literally a campaign. Like, the character I'm playing right now, Honra, came from, like, pretty much hundreds, thousands, how many X years in the future from, like, those other campaigns that we've played in the past. So there's, like, a lot of attachment to, like, just the idea of Wayne and, like, the God of Eternal Service. Yeah. So there's, like, a whole lot of just, like, lore and stuff of, like, the God of Eternal Service. Of, like, we played the characters during the, Yeah! The reason why we are summoning Heroes of the Past is because whenever we summon somebody, Canis was somebody's character. Like, everyone who's summoned has been played by one of us, pretty much. Or, not everyone, but a lot of them have been. The Executioner, that was mine. I can pull up the Executioner sheet. You want to see the Executioner, the person we're about to kill? This is Kaijin, the Executioner, level 12 Cleric, level 2 Archer. Archer is just a special class. I was able to pick it up. Their whole entire gimmick, I'm trying to find it. Assailing Strike is always fun. Hit a target, hit another target within 5 feet. Oh, there we go. Double tap. When you take a target below 0 hit points, you may use your reaction to make 2 additional attacks against the target. You lose 2 death saving throws. I picked that up because I just wanted to slaughter people, apparently. And, like, it was... 2 additional attacks. Damn. And then Assailing Strike. So if I hit a target 5 feet within the target, I can hit somebody else. And then I bring one of them to 0. I can double tap. I bring another one to 0. I can double tap. I bring another one to 0. I can double tap. And that was my whole concept for this. And they were some sort of homebrew, like, cleric, where they could, like, pretty much add spells or extra damage to their, like, attacks. And it's great. Oh, yeah. Extra damage here. Declaration attack. This was... All of your attacks count as declaration attacks. However, you lose the attack of opportunity feature. So that was legit only, so I could actually, so I could always add my, like, extra attacks, my extra damage, my extra abilities, because the server counts around a bunch of things, and there's a bunch of weird niche rules. So that was my ways to rules lawyer my build to work. Well, yeah, it was. This is the person we have to kill, by the way. This is the person we're going to be fighting against. They might be 2 levels lower, but they got like some sort of god boon bonus, and for some reason had so much strength. I believe it was like a strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, and charisma saving throw, and every time you passed, your stats would increase. So they're just like this. I forget how beefy. I forget their strength was a 23 because they shouldn't have a 23. It was bullshit. It was okay. You want to know how that happened? We were given a 10th level scroll of Wish, and Justin's character used that to pretty much increase the rarity and the power level of all of the royals and retainers. So a 10th level scroll of Wish to change the fabrics of the reality and the world around you so that the royals were just better and stronger. I don't even remember fully why we were given it. Oh my goodness, look at that damage. 2d8 plus d4 plus d8 plus 6 plus d8. Oh, they're insane. Damn. Increases by 60 feet the range. I feel like... Wait, was there something else? I feel... Sharpshooter... Perspective... Okay, so it was just a pure, like... Elven accuracy? Triple advantage? I was mean! Holy shit! When I built this person, I knew how to build characters? Holy shit. Meanwhile, my current character is just like freaking the most mixed matched like ability. Either they're using one of their abilities or another one of their abilities, and it's horrible action economy. This person could kill you like 5 times over. Oh my gods. Just like full range sharpshooter, triple advantage, hella damage, attach a spell to my hella damage, I'm pretty sure somehow. Where is it? Sacred Arrow. Use your entire turn to like I said, single target spell to a single arrow attack. Spell attack roll treats yeah, so pretty much just link your turn. I had 2 channel divinities. I could do it twice per short rest. It was it just link a spell to an attack, which was already like insanely high. I could -5 hit to damage, +10 to damage. I could get triple advantage on this. And like, let's see, what's my highest level thing? 1, there's harm. There's 14d6 necrotic damage with an arrow that I'm shooting, where if I hit them, I can... if I hit them, I can shoot again, even though I use my entire turn. And just double tap them if they get brought to 0. Or, I could do Contagion. I can just shoot people and make them sick. I could give them Flesh Rot, vulnerability to all damage by shooting them. This is ridiculous. Everything about this build was so ridiculous, and we have to kill it. Oh my gods. Or a life or a purity. I don't care about that shit. Oh my gods. Crusader's Mantle. Right, yeah, and then just randomly increase, like... Oh my god. I'm pretty sure this was the era of the server where you could hold more than 1 concentration. Which, you know, makes it even more broken. Do Crusader's Mantle to, like, get the extra damage. I could have done, like... Probably, like, I don't know. Maybe it was only 2? Either way, we've learned lessons. Radiant Weapon, deal extra damage. Oh my gods. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be wonderful. This is probably one of the stronger people. Like, a lot of the people back in that era were, like, strong. But this person definitely was, like, top tier. Brig doesn't matter, but Brig was literally just like AC tank. Give everyone around her AC. Give everything around, just everything AC. Their AC was pretty trash, but that's because like everyone else around her got like better AC. Transient Wall of Snowflakes, all allied targets within 10 feet of you gain +3 to armor class. You lose 3 to your armor class as a result. Projectiles, all targets within 10 feet of you gain +2 armor against projectiles. And then just an ability to say, hey, you know that destiny, you know that fate? Yeah, no, you ain't experiencing that.
Yeah, Pharaoh's people are insane, yo. Like, seriously insane.
Yeah, like just giving somebody a +5 to AC, but for standing within 10 feet of Brig.
Yeah, Brig
Oh
was.
my god.
Everyone. The power creep in Pharaoh's hit a very high. It got very. It was big.
It doesn't help you if you just on triple advantage roll extremely low though, and miss the So
Big
yeah, we have
snake.
to kill the executioner. I was re-looking at it, what the executioner could do with their 117 HP. Oh, the shield the shield that protects against fate. You are invested with a power that seems to reject fate itself. When you are targeted by an ability that would be used to foresee an event, the ability does nothing instead. However, you are unable to escape one fate. That one thing will always happen.
So that conceptually, you have to understand that the server has a thing that are called. You could call it a fixed point in time. A fixed point in time is something that is literally always going to happen. It's like the timeline event of you cannot change this fundamentally. Usually, when you do a divination, it's a probability, but sometimes you'll get a this is going to happen divination. Like in 3 days, you are going to trip and explode. 3 days, you will trip and explode sometime. And if that is a fixed point, the only way to bypass that is with an ability that strictly bypasses a fixed event. So like there are curses where it's like think Sleeping Beauty. How the hell did she stand up, walk across the room, prick her finger on the spinning wheel, and fall? Like how the hell did that happen? Think that is a fixed event. No one could have stopped her. The fairies couldn't have stopped her. Nothing could have happened. She pricked her finger. She fell over. Like the end. That's like a fixed event. Brig, if something like that were to happen, Brig is someone who can jump in, punch Sleeping Beauty in the face, and she doesn't do it.
Yeah. Brig literally just protected people from like fixed events and yeah, plot points, things that were destined to happen.
There isn't a whole lot of them, and most prophecies that are taken in the server are potentialities, because,
It's hard
predicting
to
the
say
exact
this will
future
happen
is
no
hard.
matter what and have it happen.
But when you do get a fixed point, there's no guarantee you'll know it's a fixed point, but you can get a fixed point, and that fixed point will be like, I don't know, you won't live to the end of the Holy Grail War. We don't know if that's a fixed point, but it
God,
might
I
be.
just saw
And if
something horrifying.
it is, we're toast to avoid it. So we just essentially have to figure it out.
So Azori, the person who bit off Kiku's hand, her light forged undead had pack tactics, immunity to turning undead. In its action, it could make 3 attacks. It could make a 2 claw attacks, which dealt this absurd amount of damage because of her, and then a single bite attack, which once again absurd amounts of damage. And
I'll
when it
bet you that
dies,
averages a 30.
she can choose to explode it, dealing or healing 48 damage to 3 targets within 10 feet.
Yes, light forged undead, and it has pretty much as much health as her might as well be. Or as much health as the X. It has
Oh,
120.
right. Immunity to radiant damage, resistance cold, necrotic fire. Oh, when it receives radiant damage, it heals 10 HP on a first level spell slot or higher. Light Forge Undead Undead. Oh, yeah, 104 HP. It could climb and swim. Oh.
Yeah, the only thing it couldn't do is fly. And that was a possibility that it was going to fly one day.
Yeah, it could have been made to fly. Gods, just reflecting on this shit. She was our ally friend, oh golly.
Yeah, there's a reason why one hit from that thing pretty much totaled me.
Oh, also Channel Divinity, Path to the Grave. Just double that damage. Oh,
Yeah, no, Pharaoh's was a special kind of broken.
oh yeah, absolutely. Familiar
And
sight through undead. And then if the the most overpowered trait, all the stuff from before, so a bunch of just like mediocre, like your undead are more effective. But you gain access to a special kind of undead, the Counselor Undead. When you summon or control 5 or more undead, this undead arrives and will last until killed. It is proficient in persuasion and can control your undead. This undead can speak every language you can and will get really defensive if it thinks someone is causing you pain. The Counselor Undead knows pain. It's been there and it doesn't want you to know pain. The Counselor is known to get into street fights with ruffians, but also has a soft heart for cake. I love it.
Sometimes server abilities just get real nonsense.
Taking, like, 2 extra attacks on somebody you brought to 0 HP to, like, eliminate them, or a Counselor Undead. That person showed up in the first half that no one saw, and they're, oh my god.
Psychiatrist undead. Kark is a psychiatrist. He is literally just a psychiatrist.
Right, Jarell was just so weird and dumb because she had additional hit dice.
Yep.
Oh, they were the... Oh my gods.
When you are hit by a big stick, it's just
Big
a critical.
stick! Frickin' Big Stick! I forgot about Big Stick. You have drinking problems. Whenever you attempt to consume alcohol, you instead just throw it in a random target within range. Not because you want to, it just happens.
Jarell
Additions. You
had
enjoy cold damp location. Every character needs a special Zeus bonus. Why is that not a feature?
What's that show where everyone gets a superpower, but there's like a huge downside?
Darker Than Black?
I mean Darker Than Black, the meme version.
Frickin' all the random ability score improvements? Oh gosh.
Oh, Pharaoh's was a special type of broken.
It was a special type of broken. Base, Zeus, rare, final. I literally had 4 different stats just to know what the frick happened.
Speaking of plot relevant stuff, we have like a 30-minute session left.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Let's slide into it. Back into it. So we've recently discussed we want to kill the Executioner, and we're going to team up with Mixika to do it. Kiku's going to find the Executioner, and Hanku and Honra are going to go talk to Mixika.
Yep.
Honra doesn't need weapons.
Honra has stick.
That's all we need to do to defeat Jarell. Hit her with a big stick.
My God, you're right.
There's not much preparation that's needed. It's get there as soon as possible. Now, as much as Hiroko Moto wasn't as strong as the other servants, there's no doubt that he was a servant. setting off into the dusty rainstorm. Honora knew it for certain that Hiroko Moto has managed to not only evade his master, the prior one, but Hiroko Moto has managed to evade Camus.
Wow.
While he may be a weakling compared to the other servants, there's no sense putting your nose down at a servant just because they have a low star rating.
Mixika.
He had finally found a wish and invested himself in the war. It was unfortunate. It would have been great if he never got caught up in all of this, but at the same time, if he did, would they have had really an option? Everything was so held up by wires in the background that only a glimpse could be seen. Hanku. Why was it she felt so relieving to be around? Honor had many theories that she rattled. Perhaps it was simply just that she really didn't actually look like she came from Wayne. Funny as that sounds. The more that she's looked upon, no one has just that shade of red. No one's that shade of ginger. No one's built like that. No one's used to a cool environment like that. Is that something that's relieving? No, probably not. Is Hanku a story character? Is she capable of being written into a story? Probably. It couldn't be that either. Everyone else could be. Even young Mixika Hollow. A little boy, well over his head. I had a pamphlet to where he was performing tonight. He still needed to make money. Fighting against his father, proving himself capable. Honora never really knew her parents, really. They didn't really matter. Honor could have had siblings galore. She likes to believe that she'd be there for them, but in truth, the old her probably wouldn't have cared much. Was her bond with Kiku and Mitsuki only conditional because they were chosen? Kind of. She might have just tried to put her other siblings to work as some sort of menial labor to make them feel better for not being chosen if they did exist.
No, I think she just wouldn't care enough. If they were relevant and if they proved their worth, then perhaps she would have cared, but it was a practicality thing. If they weren't worth my time, then I would not have spent time on them.
Where's she heard that story before?
Wait, did you hear that? Is that a wisdom check?
Could be.
No. As much as, yeah, dark, spooky thoughts, definitely not inspired by the Grail or anything. It was what it was. Like, I can say how much of a horrible person I was in the past, but I'm still a bad person. In the end, like, I'm just, like, enjoying people selfishly. The thing that would change is that I would see this new brother, I'd see this new sister or whatever, if I had another one, and then I'd just enjoy their existence. It feels good to be wanted, it feels good to be needed, and that's usually what drives a person within a story. Just because I'm evil doesn't mean I can't do good things. I don't need to be a hero, I don't need to be that filled with justice because I'm myself. I'm waiting to see if the server has any feedback of, like, you get corrupted, make a wisdom save.
Honora zones back in. She's at the venue. A small concrete building. It looks like it goes underground. At the front door, there's a place to pay for tickets, and of course, there's not going to be any way around that. It'd be foolish to try and just veto your way in on friends and family when you barely even know each other.
I've got money.
The place is packed.
Wow.
You very vaguely hear a lyric sprung of "My weapon has no trigger. I'm automatic. I'm automatic." The sound is heavy. This huge bass. A beautiful song silhouettes the background by a lady of distinct singing talent. Mixika looks a little bit more edged when you see him. His hair has been cut shorter. He seems to be wearing heavier clothes. People seem to be buying it, but Honora honestly can't really tone into the music.
It's not
It's
like
like
it
that.
before where I was entranced, right?
No.
That's disappointing.
She hasn't felt herself be connected to music in a while.
Insight. I want to know if it's me or if it's him. If I can't connect to it, or if he's actually not. His words are empty. Natural one. Let's go. Use it now, so if I have to make a wisdom save, I don't get that one.
You know, everything just kind of feels empty.
This is concerning. She'll say out loud.
Yes, it's a horrible sound.
Does it feel
People should
empty
pay
to...
money for this.
Hmm?
People shouldn't pay money for this.
Does it feel empty to you as well?
No, it's just classless. It has a lot of heart behind it. But those aren't even music that are playing. It's just... Hanku shakes her head. No, this isn't music.
Hmm.
This is lyrics with a car battery.
But, if he did learn how to play music... Well, I should say, do you think you'd be able to teach him?
Lyrics are fine. You should be able to learn something. But all this other noise. If only they stuck to regular instruments. It's appalling.
Is there any sort of music theory behind these? What are they using? Car batteries?
No, it's some sort of noise. You honestly don't know where it's coming from. Just speakers, some sort of noise. Just
Is
sounds like
there...
reverberations and feelings in the air. Can't be real instruments. There's like a keyboard that seems to be making noises that a keyboard probably shouldn't make. Pianos don't make that noise. Very
Is there any
synth.
sort of music theory behind it that you can hear, or is it noise for the sake of noise?
Following. It's following theory. Those instruments, they are just noise.
Hmm.
Cut it down to a moment of taste. And taste that I don't believe anyone here has. But they are enjoying it. So it must be something good to them.
I could almost understand. Unfortunately, my heart feels a bit empty right now, so I can't necessarily connect like they're doing.
Mixika would have been a better singer if he planned to do something like old folk music. But I don't believe it's in his heart to do so either. This is what he loves. You can tell that. If I could teach him anything, I wouldn't want to stand in the way of whatever this dream is. As abysmal as I think it sounds.
Would you be able to find your dream beside him?
No. Not him.
Hmm.
I had more anticipation for this. I was more excited. Now I feel disappointed. But not stolen from.
What was that last part, sorry?
But not stolen from.
She's disappointed, not cheated. By her expectations. Mixika throws the mic into the audience, which seemed to respond to it very well. He's smiling as he runs off stage. You catch a sight of who you believe is Hirokamoto solely because of the mustache.
No one wears mustaches nowadays.
Not many people have mustaches, and Hirokamoto does.
Do we follow him? I assume we follow him to the back.
You can if you want.
I mean, what was the plan?
Confront him, to recruit him, to maybe go on a magical Holy Grail War buddy-buddy adventure to kill the executioner.
Cool, so pretty much go to the back and confront him then. If, pretty much perception check, try to see the way to there, see if there's anyone in the way, and try to figure out how to, get by him, or pretty much get by.
That is an investigation check.
Oh, thank gods! I'm so much better with investigation. 25.
When you get that skill that you're proficient in. Tripping through the crowd and lightly making the way to a back that truly should be guarded right now. Hanku jerry-rigs the door open, to the surprise of a rather flamboyant, rebellious young Mixika Hollow.
Please don't be
And
alarmed.
his extremely flighty servant.
And please don't be alarmed. I hope you remember me.
Honra. Hi, Honra. Sorry. You look a little different for some reason.
You look a bit different yourself. Much shorter hair. Different clothes. You look fatter! Sorry.
You look like you put on weight.
I'm worried about that now. There's a lot of cheese because of Yazoo.
The esteemed Honra. Well, it is a pleasure that you've made our acquaintance. Although I've noticed you don't travel with your strategist instead of new.
Indeed. There's been some unfortunate situations and circumstances. But this is... a friend of mine. Her name's Hanku. A musician, actually.
But an astute and beautiful flower as well.
I'll kill you, Hanku says. Oh, no.
Very observational. She actually seems to be... She likes that compliment for some reason.
Ah. I hope that you don't mind us barging in here.
No, of course not. I'm going out in 30 minutes to do autographs and things. But please, come, sit down. I hope your friend Yazoo's all right. Mixika is not so wet behind the ears to get the portrayed
He died.
his death.
About a week ago, or I think it's a week ago, probably. There was probably a time skip, right?
No, a couple days, 3.
About 3 days ago, there was a raid within our homes.
Is it part of the war?
Yes. The Archer class servant. And a berserker.
The rampaging Queen of Death.
Sorry, the other berserker. Hmm?
The Queen of Death is an archer, isn't she?
I have no clue. I don't know what sort of name she goes by or what you've been calling her. But from what I know, and I will be lenient with my information, the Archer class is a servant called Kaijin. The Executioner. She is able to shoot a miraculous distance and is very lethal, able to blow holes through walls and with their destructive power.
My lady, that would be the Berserker class, sir.
My word. I suppose. That's a surprising. Like, she didn't know that, right?
No, we were pretty convinced. I think what he's saying is it's the opposite of what we saw. So Eshin's the archer and Kaijin's the berserker.
And you say that Eshin, is the Archer class servant, the Queen of Death.
The beautiful queen with the sullied golden hair. Of course. As servants, we were summoned with a certain inadequacy. Some of us were altered summoned to have skills from the other class. He just kind of hands a book to Mixika with a drink. Looks like a water bottle. Mine, I got some sort of strength enhancement. Which makes me a little more tipsy, it seems. A little flighty. But
Man.
it's nothing compared to the original. A true berserker would have a extreme madness enhancement. Something like bloodlust you can't quite put your finger on. That would be not Eshin. Eshin has the strong form of another skill I happen to possess a little bit of, but the extreme version, independent action or independent manifestation.
That makes far more greater sense, especially with how she was able to survive.
He had escaped her multiple times.
Well, a servant has been killed, although Miyazu has died. High Priestess Azori almost says her full title of Savior of Wayne, yada yada yada. The second Berserker has been eliminated.
Well, that means there's at least one servant that's been taken in the war. That's a good thing, right? We have one servant down. We can Well,
Things are going to ramp up here. I don't know if... No. Changes her thought process of what she was going to say. You seem to have already gotten a lot of pressure on your back, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard many stories about your daring escapes. I believe last time I proposed a allyship. Did she?
she did propose an allyship. At that time, they said, no, we're going to do our thing on our own.
Seeing
I mean,
the true weight of this war, I'm hoping that your perspective might have shifted a bit.
we've been thinking of actually joining an alliance with you ourselves. If you would have us.
We are the only humans inside this war. Even if I were to lose, I have what I would do with the Grail. But I trust you with it far more than any of those others. She doesn't even utter the sentence of making a wish. She knows what she'd do with it.
Orokomoto seems a little floaty, but he's paying attention. We also, from what I can tell, seem to be the lowest of the bar when it comes to servant power. I would prefer to fight mano a mano on the front line. But that becomes increasingly hard against the monsters we're up against.
My servant would be able to buff her. Didi would be able to buff him, wouldn't she?
Oh yeah.
Then, it works out flawlessly. You see, my servant should be able to make sure that you are able to fight on the front lines to your heart's content.
Who is your servant? I mean, you already know the true name of mine. Would you be willing to part with the true name of yours for our allyship?
Ah, golly, is that a wise decision? Yeah, it is, realistically, and, like, I want them to trust me, and, like, they're not gonna know it. I will be surprised if you actually know of her. Yeah, like, it should be fine, because if anyone knows her true name, does it matter? I guess it does for the executioner, right? But the executioner is the only one who knows about her.
It definitely matters, but it also doesn't. It's a card that we can keep close to our chest.
But I mean,
do I know about Didi confronting the executioner? Does the executioner already know?
we don't have clear confirmation on that, so I would say it is a worthwhile. It's a worthwhile gambit. Saying no at this point is not going to build really trust at all.
Yeah.
Even if they are just being sneaky. If they know, they can make preparations against. Like, if they know the name of the servant, they can make a preparation against them, and that itself could be a sense of almost comfort. It's
Her
like
name, yeah.
it's like if we just say, "Lol, no, I'm not going to tell you their name," it's going to be like, "Oh well, you clearly are."
There is that hesitation and like that decision to be made. It wasn't like a clear choice, and I think that's better. That seeing of like accepting that trust, that whole making it so it seems like it was fully their decision to me to tell them, and them having that sort of giving leeway to their power for this negotiation. Her name is Dee Dee. Both of their minds don't connect.
No, neither of them even seem to really know.
She
They weren't
is-
expecting to know. But they
She
don't.
shouldn't appear in any history books, but she's from the same generation as the Executioner and High Priestess Azori, the Executioner, High Priestess Azori, Eshin, and Eshin. That's like all of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, from what we can gather. I can't say I know. But I'm sure it's fine. If they are your servant and they are a support, it would make sense to why they seem to have such minimal power. But
Wait, he's seen their power before?
what servant could they even possibly be?
Oh golly, yeah, no, this is another one. This one's easier to say. She's the ruler class. A 9th edition I wasn't aware of in the First War. What is the purpose of the ruler class again? To bring balance, like just to be that extra slot?
You know what it was supposed to be originally?
What's that?
In a normal game, it's supposed to be a mediator. In this game, is meant to be so that whoever was running the whole game could essentially sweep in at the end and steal everything.
In a normal war,
Normal things.
it's supposed to be the mediator. However, in this one, it was made so the people running this event could sweep in and take everything for themselves. But with some sort of luck or circumstances, I was the one who gained possession of them. Most likely because the creators fled. Boy, I'm dropping a lot of hints that, like, the Grail War might be bad. Without saying it.
No, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Would you like to make me a very terrifying check?
A wisdom save.
Persuasion check.
Oh. Fuck yeah, I got +5. If only I could do a performance. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and 24 cats.
Oh, if only that was a performance.
I know, that would have been a 27.
It's a pretty good number, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to break the 25 mark.
You want to know? I'm gonna do something really mean.
What's that?
I'm going to save the reply for next time.
Oh, why? Yeah, you have to go, I know.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, that's everything. We're gonna figure out if I successfully persuade them next time. Alright, cool, awesome, great. I'm gonna leave. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Wow, I know. Oh my golly. Once again, we're not gonna rate anybody because I got stuff to do. Probably gonna do things. I don't know. And thanks for stopping by. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all hopefully next Friday. I don't think anything's gonna pop up. I got busy few days coming up, I think. Either way, thanks and sayonara, peace. See y'all next time. Bye bye.